Hello. Hey, you guys. Hello, everyone. This is day 5 of our LinkedIn Live series where I'm helping women of color land six-figure promotions. Yes. If you are new to my channel or new to my profile, welcome. Hey, I am Latrice Huff, career and leadership coach to ambitious women of color, and it is my movement, it is my mission to put more women of color in positions of power and leadership roles. One way that I do that is with my program, The Fearless Branding Formula, where we help women of color increase their salaries by $20,000 to $50,000 and land six-figure promotions. Okay, fire, right? So, I am doing this whole series on how to land a six-figure promotion. So, I'm giving practical tips, tricks, and all the secrets, you guys, right? So, yeah, if you haven't watched them, go back. Yesterday, we did the one on toxic workplace, and that was fire. So many of you all messaged me, DM me. It was amazing. And also, I was like, wow, I didn't know so many people were suffering in their workplaces. So I will definitely be doing something on that again, maybe like well being in the workplace, something like to boost the morale. But thank you all. You all have been amazing joining in night after night, sending your comments, sharing. I love it. Hey, Mishi on YouTube. Yes. Yes, I just started streaming live on YouTube simultaneously while I am on LinkedIn. So, yes, be in tech. So, if you all are watching me live, give me a hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Let me know where you're joining in from. So, hey, if you all are like Latrice, we're interested in joining the Fearless Branding Formula. Officially, enrollment has closed, but I've been getting a lot of people reaching out to me. So, if you would like to join that, program, or if you just want to learn more about that program, I'm going to put out my information where you can book a call with me and I'll tell you more about the program. We'll see if it's a good fit. One of the things that I've been getting a lot of questions about is these video interviews. And not just your normal Zoom interview, but the one way video interview. And I am the queen of one way communication. Haven't noticed I do videos, I do lives, so it's just me cutting up, right? Cutting up, having fun. And so I really wanted to share you all some practical tips. I had several people today. It was very interesting. I had somebody I was on a call with. I had two former clients reach out to me about this particular topic today. And I had something else in store I was going to talk about, but I was like, nah, I'm getting nudged to talk about this. And it's very timely. So I have a theory. I think so many of these one-way interviews are going on, especially right now because it is the holidays. Companies are still hiring, but people are going on vacations. They're prepping for the holidays. They're being a little more tight with their schedule. So one way to filter people in or out is to have these one way video interviews. So that's why I think so many are happening in December. Keep in mind, you guys, this is a great thing. It's telling us that companies are still hiring, okay? That's the lesson we should be taking here. Companies are still hiring, they want candidates, and they're actively interviewing. It's just looking different. The way they're interviewing is different. So that's my theory on why it's happening so much, but it's also a great thing. If you know somebody who is actively searching for a job or actively interviewing right now, tag them in the comments, share this out, okay? All right, she's giving us a hashtag live. Oh, and I love that. I love that rose. I love that. I love that picture. So, hey, my LinkedIn folks, give me some shout outs. Give me some love. Let me see where you are. I can see you all watching. So, give me some love because the YouTube is all y'all been rocking. Love it. Okay. So, as I'm going through, if you have any specific questions, go ahead and put them in the comments too. This is what people have been telling me. I'm nervous, Latrice. Nerves have been the best one. I hate literally, they're like, I hate these one-way interviews. They don't make any sense. Or people will be like, I'm great, I'm good. And I'm like, did you do good? They're like, if you're not getting past that interview, that one-way interview, then we're having some challenges and we got to get you past it. Right. So sometimes people will be like, I'm great at interviewing. I'm like, well, was it a successful interview? And they're like, no, I'm like, then I think we need to tweak these skills. Right. So if you're actively interviewing, but not getting the offers and not continuously moving to the next level, like you you just may need a little more interview prep, and that's okay. That's okay. All right. So I'm going to kind of give you all some mindset tips because I think that's very important. And I'm going to give you some practical tips and technical things, right? Again, I know, like I've been doing this a lot. I still get nervous every time I have a workshop, every time like I do a video. Sometimes people see videos and I've like recorded when I first started, I probably have re-recorded that video like 5, 6, 7 times. I remember my first video, and it was probably like less than a minute. And you guys, I probably re-recorded that thing like 10 times. Here's the thing though, with these interviews, the one-way interviews, you don't get 10 chances. Sometimes it's around 2 or 3 times you can retake and delete, and then that last time, that's it, right? So what one thing we want to do is mentally prepare. So if y'all see my tips, I got my tips right here. One, you need to be practicing in the mirror. This is how you're going to look, right? And it's different on video, meaning I know I'm from Baltimore. So if I'm talking fast, y'all may not even understand what I'm saying. I mean, y'all, you know. And this is me talking slow. So I purposely, even though I'm very excited and animated, I do slow things down. I would say before you go in front of that camera and you click that button to see those questions and you interview, you need to be practicing in the mirror. Any questions? We don't always know the questions they're going to ask. Usually it's the original basic questions. Why should we hire you? Why are you interested in the job? Tell me one thing different about you. Like it's going to be those basic questions. They're trying to filter you in or out, right? You can definitely get a couple of the questions, no more than 5, let's say 3 or 5, and practice them in the mirror. And we're not trying to practice for perfection, we're trying to practice for comfortability. We want to look at our mouth. We want to make sure we're being understood. We want to make sure we're not like looking down, right? Those type of things. You can also do like I know sometimes time is of the essence, like between the time they tell you about the interview and you have to do it, right? But let's take a little bit of time. You could get on Zoom yourself and just do a quick interview and then look at it for like 2 minutes and be like, oh, I noticed I'm looking down, or I'm looking at myself versus looking at the camera. Those type of things, okay? And then a technical thing, wipe your camera off. Oh my goodness, it'll make a major difference. I just want mine off. Like seriously, take like a rag, a cloth or something, and literally wipe that bad boy down. It's gonna make a major difference. Whether you're doing it on your phone or your laptop, I do recommend doing it on your laptop. I know a lot of people do it on their phone because it looks better, but you just got a lot more mechanics, a lot more space when you do it on your laptop. Okay. So keep that in mind. Also, positive thoughts, positive affirmations. I would have some little post-its here. Like if you're thinking, I hate this, I'm so nervous, this is so stupid, that energy will come off. You got to be like, oh my God, I am great at interviewing. Like once they see all of this, joking, but kind of like boosting yourself up, right? We don't want to go in with those thoughts that this is stupid. I hate this isn't going to work. Why am I doing this? We want to go in with like, okay, they're trying to get to know me. I want to show them how great I am. I want to show them I'm best for the camera, right? I'm best. I'm the best candidate. So we do want to do things like be a little comfortable, relax your shoulders, like right, and you can be as formal and as relaxed to your comfort level. Just keep that in mind too, right? But some positive affirmations, breath work. I have a specific breathing technique that I take my clients through to just calm everything down. And that way you can think clearly, you can hear the questions. It's been times, even me, I get nervous during interviews, and I had someone ask me a question. I start talking, and like halfway through, I was like, I don't think that was the question. Like I was answering something they didn't ask, right? So just keep that in mind. We want to calm our breathing, calm down, calm the nerves. You don't have to eradicate your nerves, but we want to calm them down, okay? And then if you just be free to delete and redo. If that first one is janky, go ahead and delete and redo it. But just keep in mind, you only get a certain amount of chances. Some are 2, some are 3, and then that's it. Whichever is done is done. So you kind of want to take some time and improve. Like, okay, I did this. Let me pause. But please don't practice during that video interview. Please practice beforehand, okay? I'm just looking at my tips. And then here's another practical one. Have your resume and your like I call them hero stories and your branding statement readily available. Do not trust your memory. Even though we think like, oh, hey, it's not a real interview, it is a real interview. Or we're like, oh, it's not somebody in front of me. I can just go off the dome. Big mistake. Big mistake. Don't do that. And I know sometimes people are like, I'm best when I wing things. For a six-figure role, we're not winging it. We're not winging it. We're not winging it. Okay. I have people tell me, I don't need to prep. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Excellent. Maybe for 40, 50K, but at the six-figure role, we're going to put a little more effort into this. Let me know if y'all hear me, if y'all understand. Hey, God's Pearl, thank you for giving me a hashtag live. I love people on YouTube. But if y'all feeling me like, okay, for that six-figure level, that six-figure promotion, things are a little differently. They're expecting you to show up prepared. We're not winging it. Okay, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. Y'all know I only say this because I care and I want y'all to make this money. And I'm gonna do a whole thing on how we rebranding in 2024. Some of these things that we leaving in 2023. This thing that we just winging stuff. I work best when I wing it. No, you don't. No, you don't. Let's do some prep. I'm not saying over prep because you may not have time, but we do want to have some preparation. And we do want to have things near us that we can easily refer to. Okay. All right. Hey. Okay. And be sure, again, your branding statement. I just want to get, hey, God's Pearl. I appreciate y'all showing me some love on YouTube. Appreciate that. Be sure, you guys, be sure to have your branding statement. This is something I work very closely with my clients. Your branding statement will set the tone for everything. It anchors you back. It answers that question, why you and what's the problem you solve in the unique way that you do it, right? Don't trust your brain. I know my brain. I know my brain. This isn't the time that we trust our brain. We're gonna we want our brain to focus on answering these questions, and then like our shot and everything. And technically, and I'll give some tech pieces too. Like I have mine pretty blank. I need to be branding this. I will, you guys. But either blank or like a picture or like a plant or something. But what we want to do um, is we actually want to just have something that's not distracting in the background. So many, I've seen people with like family pictures, crazy stuff. Just keep simple, a plant or a blank or a generic picture or something, because you want them to focus on you, not being distracted by what's in the background. Okay, so that's a little technical piece. And then here's the biggest piece: give them what they ask for, answer the questions. So many times when I'm working with my clients and then we'll recap what happened and I'm like, what was the question, and like what was your answer, and they don't align. And it's sometimes because we're so nervous. That's why I gave you those tips in the beginning, or we didn't fully understand it. Like you think they're saying one thing, and then once you kind of settle, you think back, you're like, I think they were asking me something completely different. So we want to take that time. I would recommend reading that question twice before you start answering. And I know they give you a time, but it's worth it. Use all of the time to be like, okay, I'm gonna let me see what they're asking. I'm gonna listen to this question. I'm gonna read it twice. Okay, now I'm gonna answer go. Right, that's very important. And I know it seems so basic, but sometimes just because we're nervous, our heart is racing. We got papers here, we got these things going, right? And it's like, oh, what was the question? God's versus that is definitely the issue I have. Which one of like not is it not answering the question or like not understanding the question at that time? Let me know which one it is. We've all been, y'all. I have done it in like like we have been interviewing me for podcasts, but I have it too. It's been times I've had to record things like people give me questions and then I have to record it, and then I'm like, oh man, wait a minute, what did they ask? So I'm telling you all I've been on both sides. I've been on that side of the recruiter and the hiring manager. I've been on that side of the person being an interviewer, and that side of the person who I'm now helping my clients ace these. And I can tell you all, my clients who ace these one-way video interviews, they're calming their nerves, they're preparing themselves, they understand there's no way to be perfect. but they're going to be as prepared as possible. And what we say is we don't trust our brain. We have our stuff around us. Being nervous and not answering the questions properly. Yes, we've all been there. We've all been there. That's why these tips I'm sharing, like I said, they're practical tips. I'm sharing technical tips. And then I'm also sharing like some mindset tips because these are all mistakes that I've seen before. And then I've seen when these mistakes are corrected, you're off. You're acing those wrong. Like it's like very quickly you're getting that notice that you're moving to the next round. And that's what we want. We're like, okay, I need to, so that's why I saved this for the bottom one because I was like, this is the main one where it's like, we don't give them what they're asking for. And usually it's because we're so nervous. But yes, we have to answer that question and give them what they're asking for. And so if we don't notice it, like right away, maybe it's like halfway through we're like, oh man, wait a minute, I answered it. Usually you get 2 to 3 takes. On average it's about 2 takes, right? So you just delete it, you take a minute, like, okay, I get it, I get what they're asking me. Do some breathing techniques to kind of calm everything down, and then you go again, and that's it. And I know I kind of make these, but you guys, these are things that can be done in like 15 minutes. So I've had it too where it's like the same day or 24 hour 48 hours where you get the email and they're like, hey, we want to interview you, do this, please respond within 24 to 48 hours, like with the link and everything. So these tips can be done very quickly. You don't have to be prepping for hours and hours and hours and days and days and days. But again, when it comes to these 6-figure roles and we got some things written on them, we do want to prep. All right. Let me know if you all have any questions. All right, God's says, I know my skills, but I'm not good at interviewing. I'm nervous when it comes to testing. Yeah. So, okay, the testing too is a tricky one. The testing. So for the nerves, I know my skill, but I'm not. And here's the thing: we don't want to say we're not good at interviewing. Let's change our language and be like, you know what? There's some. I'm going to work on improving my interviewing skills, right? Because interviewing is really a skill you're only going to use during your career when you're looking for another job. It's not your daily competency, right? Like you said, you know your skills. You're probably amazing at what you do. This interviewing, and then there's one-way interviewing, which is pretty new, is not like a skill that you're going to be using every day. So we just need to get it. That's why I say take notes. We just need to get it past that part and move on. When it comes to the testing, oh my God, you guys, I had it once where I took a 4-hour test. It was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. Oh, I consider an interview as a test. Okay. It kind of is. That's very smart. I get it. That is pretty smart. I do get that. Okay. You know what? I like that. That is true. The interview is kind of like a test. It is kind of like a test. You're absolutely right. Um, the interviewing, and I'm somebody, you guys, and I love talking and everything, and I still get nervous if I'm in with either side. I'm nervous. You have to calm those nerves, right? That's why I said do that breathing first. I love affirmations. I know some people don't, but I love them to just remind myself like who I am, what's important, calm everything down. Because what will happen is instead of being in your head like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to answer the question right, you can hear the question and answer it correctly. That's why it's so important to kind of get the heart rate down. Like if you can feel yourself in that fight or flight, what's your everything is racing here, your brain is probably functioning. We got to get the baseline, calm it down, then we'll be able to hear everything, right? And just as much as possible, just calm yourself as much as possible, especially with these one-way interviews. The good thing about it is you do get different time, you do get different options, right? And different chances, where with a face-to-face interview, what you say, what they heard, right? So it's some pros and cons to the one-way interview, but I definitely understand why people don't like them. But I understand why companies use them, especially right now. And again, this just shows that companies are actively hiring right now. All right. So if you're looking for a role, Companies are hiring. This is great news. And I just gave you all some amazing tips. If you need to watch this replay, watch the replay again. If you need to take notes, take notes. I gave you all some amazing practical tips to help you ace that interview. And I want to know which one of the tips are you going to use? Hopefully you use all of them. Which one are you all going to use? And then keep me posted. I want to know. I'm so excited to hear from everybody. You all have been like in my inbox and DMing me and sharing like your experiences. So I'm excited. I'm excited for you all. And again, if you are like Latrice, I'm interested in working with you in the Fearless Branding Formula. We go through this and even more. I help you craft your branding statement. I help you create that six-figure resume so that you're getting these interviews and offers. We help you prep for these interviews. We have an entire six-figure interview clinic that we offer. Amazing. That has sealed the deal for so many of my clients in acing the six-figure interview, because the six-figure interview is different than other interviews, right? If you're interested in that program, be sure to reach out to me and book a call with me at calendarly.com/Latrice/FBF. I am so excited to hear from you all, and have a wonderful night, you guys. And if you have any other questions or topics you want me to cover, put them in the comments. All right. Have a good night. Bye.